Hey guys, it's me, Trijosh, welcome back to another reaction video. Right now, this is after my reaction to Chi Super Smash Bros. Song. So I calmed down a little bit and I'm feeling well. Today in this reaction video, we're gonna watch the truth behind SpongeBob's Kamp Koral series. Everything you need to know. Subscribe to hit the notification bell, like this video, and comment below. So yeah guys, no one suggested this video, it just came out, so why don't we react to this? So let's get started.
Kamp Koral is the next entry in the never-ending franchise that is SpongeBob SquarePants, and people aren't happy. There's a lot of information being thrown around about this prequel series, but you're not going to find too many sources online from everyone talking about it. That's why, in today's video, let's dive in and figure out the truth behind Kamp Koral. Did Stephen Hillenburg even know about it in the first place? Before we head into the facts, let me just say that I'm not on the side of Nick executives here. The company does whatever it can for money, and they've made some pretty bad decisions for cartoons over the years. Still, we need to take a look at this from every angle and understand that direct sources are worth looking at to figure out the truth. It's important to open your mind with a situation we don't have all the knowledge for. The first topic we need to go over is what Stephen Hillenburg thought about spin-offs for his show, and we need evidence to go along with that. During his life, there weren't many public statements at all about expanding SpongeBob into other shows, but a few concrete sources are out there. In a Television Business International article from 2009, Steve was directly asked about what he thinks of SpongeBob spin-offs with the other characters. The show was about SpongeBob. He's a core element, and it's about how he relates to the other characters. Patrick by himself might be a bit too much, so I don't see any spin-offs. In a 2018 long-range article about SpongeBob history, we get to hear from Paul Tibbitt. If you didn't know, he was the showrunner that replaced Hillenburg and would keep working on the series until Sponge Out of Water. In the animation business, you know, there always used to be the sort of joke, says Tibbitt. When you run out of ideas, you just do Muppet Babies. Steve would always say to me, you know, one of these days, they're going to want to make SpongeBob babies. That's when I'm out of here. Now, when you see online that Stephen Hillenburg would disapprove of Kamp Koral, this quote right here is why people think so. Also, take note that it isn't from Hillenburg directly, more of a paraphrasing from one of his good friends. When the prequel series was officially revealed to the world in 2019, Paul made a tweet that reignited the hatred towards Nickelodeon. I do not mean any disrespect to my colleagues who are working on the show. They are good people and talented artists. But this is some greedy, lazy executiving right here, and they all know full well Steve would have hated this. Shame on them. So, okay, based on these few instances, one can assume that Hillenburg wasn't a big fan of expanding the SpongeBob universe. However, his direct quotes were from years ago, and who knows, maybe his perspective could have changed at some point in time. That leads me to another question. Did Hillenburg actually know about Kamp Koral in his lifetime? And if so, what did he think of it specifically? This is where things get messy, at least in terms of online information. You're gonna see conflicting sources, so let's try to straighten things out a bit. Just to give you some background, the third SpongeBob movie was being worked on for several years after Sponge Out of Water. The very idea of younger SpongeBob characters meeting at a summer camp was also introduced in this third movie. Keep in mind that in terms of writing and major decisions, Hillenburg was the go-to guy for approvals and denials of topics, so we can assume he was aware of the whole camp thing. Now, if you want proof he actually worked on the third movie a little, a fan asked current showrunner Vincent Waller what Steve did for Sponge on the Run, and here's what was said. Mostly consulting. Steve very much enjoyed hanging with us making the TV show. As I understood it, he was consulting on the movie, meaning had first look and would give notes on some. So okay, if Hillenburg did play a small role, it sounds like he knew about the origin stories surrounding Kamp Koral. That still leaves us
Maybe.
with a big question. Did he know about the spin-off series with the same concept? Well, according to one of the show's script coordinators, the answer is yes. We all like what we're doing, and Steve absolutely knew about it before he passed. That's why it's in the third SpongeBob movie. Everyone is getting this weird rumor from Paul Tibbitt's tweet, but that dude hasn't worked on the show in years. He has been out of the loop for so long. Please just give the show a chance. You will be very impressed. To further prove that this series idea was thought of during Hillenburg's life, there was a World Screen interview with current Nick president Brian Robbins. He mentions that his second or third day working there, he and some others had come up with an idea of expanding SpongeBob into to different shows. Keep in mind that this was the beginning of October 2018 when Hillenburg was around. Now, even though he knew about the camp origin story idea, we can't say with 100% certainty he approved or hated the spin-off series. It's impossible to put words in his mouth right now. Most of us didn't know him personally, and a few quotes taken out of context doesn't give the full story. One of the reasons people aren't big fans of Kamp Koral is because it undoes some of the previously established lore of the series. Like, for example, we literally met Sandy in one of the very first episodes of the show, but now she's part of the camp gang for some reason. The same could be said for several other characters, and yeah, this does mess with the timeline in some pretty bad ways. Personally, I'm looking at this as an alternate universe, and pretty much all those continuity problems are fixed. The original show is the main universe, while this origin story is answering the hypothetical question, what if SpongeBob and friends met at summer camp? As long as you accept it as non-canon bonus content separate from the show, then it's gonna be easier to watch. Now look, I know it's sad to see Nick expand the cash cow of SpongeBob, but this is what happens with massive franchises. We have to remember that Kamp Koral could legitimately turn out to be a good cartoon, especially with this first look being so high quality. Crew members have come forward saying that the show should speak for itself. And hey, Hillenburg liked the direction SpongeBob was going in the newest seasons, so at least we know Kamp Koral's in good hands. At the end of the day, Kamp Koral is happening despite anyone's complaints. The actual series itself may be really fun to watch, but many fans aren't willing to support an executive's decision to expand the SpongeBob universe. That's okay, and it's your choice. Regardless of your opinion on the controversy, I figured it was worth putting all these sources in one video, since a lot of people didn't know about them in the first place. And remember, the arguments against this prequel series are valid, but it's important to know everything we can about the situation. Just remember, there's a talented crew working hard to make this as good as it can be. They're trying to keep what everyone loves about the original series, and there's so much going on behind the scenes that we as the public don't know about. What do you think of all this, though? Are you gonna watch when it premieres on Nickelodeon? Let's talk in the comments.
But anyway, that's all for this video. Subscribe for more cartoons and videos. Give a thumbs up and comment below what you think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Wow, that was pretty interesting, Vail. I know, guys. Stephen, I know Nickelodeon is respecting Stephen Hillenburg all, but Nickelodeon does it anyway. I mean, here is Kamp Koral. But I'll be really hyped to watch. But I will have to watch the show. But if that's how the fans don't want it, saying that Nickelodeon's saying that they're destroying the SpongeBob franchise, saying they're disrespecting Steve Richards, and they hate Nickelodeon for life and never watch all the shows again, that's on them. Well, I'm a bit upset too, but if that's what you do it, alright, fine, it's fine with me. I guess I'll watch the Kamp Koral series. You know, no polls, no Isaac. Well, that's my sorry about that. That's my reaction to this SpongeBob video by Vail. So his channel will be in the description below, his channel will be in the description below, so you can check him out himself. And yeah, guys, subscribe to my channel. It really helps a lot, and subscribe for more. Bye.